ready, they have a good mindset, they're open, have somewhere to jot some notes down, although again, you will get a PDF of this deck as well. The concept we're going to think about today is about pushing and pulling. And what that means is, as soon as we are not in front of people, we push out information. I saw it in the spring with homeschooling with my kids and my husband being a teacher. I've seen it for myself as I started to do remote training 8 to 10 years ago, is that there was a tendency to just push out information when you can't read body language in the same way and you don't connect in the same way. And the issue is that the more we push it out, the less we're able to get them to learn and engage with the content. So our goal when it comes to engagement is actually pulling it out of them. And we pull it out by asking them questions about sharing stories and analogies, about using certain virtual tools in the platform, about asking individuals questions or the whole group a question. So there's this balance when you're remote between pushing and pulling, and we're going to show you more strategies around the pull.
We know from many research studies that people are more productive in meetings and trainings when that web camera is on there. There is improved engagement, and it does make our communication clearer. It helps. It helps you as the facilitator, but it also helps as the audience member. So we encourage web camera use when possible. I mentioned that I was a TV reporter and anchor, so a lot of the times I was in a TV studio. It was controlled. Nobody was coming in and out. There was nothing crazy going on. That was easy. Other times, they threw me out in the field to report, and right as the anchor tossed to me, this happened. A huge gust of wind is covering my face. I could have been telling people at home that aliens were landing and nobody was going to pay attention to me because I look like Cousin It. And I mention this because I feel like this is kind of what we're all going through right now. Suddenly we're working from home. Maybe we're making sure our toddlers aren't going to come running through the room, or we're making sure our spouse or whoever we live with, that their work conversations aren't picking up on ours. We're dealing with all of these unpredictable things in this virtual reality. But when it comes to visual, hopefully, we're not getting slammed with gusts of wind inside, but we can control something. So let's focus on those.
What will success look like? I got to tell you, I can't tell you how many times I've sat across a conference room table from someone who has a big presentation that they're about to do, and we're getting this thing ready. And at the very early part of this session, I'll say to them, so, describe to me what success will look like. And most of the time, you get a blank look. They don't know how to answer. They haven't even thought about it. And then if you press them, they'll eventually start talking about success factors like, oh, I hope I just get out of there with my head still on my shoulders. But more positively, what is it that you want to accomplish with it? I'm going to tell you a story about one of my coaching clients. This gentleman was the head of a manufacturing firm, and they'd just been bought by a large conglomerate out of Europe, worldwide. And I'm working with the gentleman who's the head of the manufacturing firm. I'm saying, okay, you've got the main presentation for this giant meeting. And then I asked him the question. I said, okay, what will success look like? He says, what do you mean, what does success look like? And I said, well, if I talk to you after this presentation and I say to you, so how did it go? You're not really going to be able to answer that unless we've decided in advance, what does success look like? And so he thought about it for a bit, and then he finally says, oh, okay, I'll tell you. I want them to be impressed with this product. Yeah, that's it. That's my success description, that they will be impressed. I usually try to avoid being sarcastic, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking, so what are we going to do? Are we going to count smiles when they leave? I mean, come on. So finally, I kept pressing him, and he decided that if he could get some pilot programs around the globe, he would be happy. And so that's how we put it together, that we would drive this presentation towards a pilot programs. We ended up getting 8 of them, which was double what he was hoping for. And so the idea is decide what your success is going to be in advance. What are you trying to accomplish with this presentation?
I mean, objections are a good thing. Let me start there, and let me tell you why. If someone was not interested in what you had to say, let's say you walked onto a car lot and somebody tried to sell you this purple car, and you're like, nope, I'm not interested. And they keep coming at you. You're not asking them questions because it's just a flat no, right? You're not interested in the purple car. You're just not. And so if someone is asking questions, if you start asking questions about it, now you're expressing interest in it. And so the cool thing to think about when in objections is that we need to put a new frame around them and realize that salespeople love objections because they realize that's the start of a conversation. Oftentimes when I'm working with MSLs, we feel like, look, we're just there to share information. If they don't want it, they don't want it. But that's not really true. We're there to help them overcome objections in their mind. Their objections, as Jim was pointing out, is a way of saying, I just don't agree. Or maybe I just don't understand. Or I see it differently. Or based on what I know right now, what you're telling me doesn't make sense. Or I'm just not sure. Or I'm not ready. Or I need more information. And so if we can take this whole, notice what the target person, everything that you shared with me is very personal. I feel like I'm being attacked. I feel like I'm being tested. I feel like there's, they might be accusing me of something. There's something coming at you and it's about you. It's not about you. It's about the data and the information and it's about their need.
Many of us don't realize the power our inner narrative has to either totally sabotage our efforts or catapult us into a whole new realm. My whole life, I've been fascinated by the difference between two types of people. One who allow their obstacles to totally stop them, and others who use it as a catalyst to go on to create a life of love, of success, and tremendous impact. That's why I really love the theme of this year's conference. Unleash the opportunity. That within every challenge, there is an innate possibility, opportunity to be brought out, despite the challenges.
Great leaders bring more to the table than business acumen and technical expertise. They're skilled relationship builders who connect with authenticity to inspire and motivate others. Leadership presence is an essential component of this. Leadership presence helps us to build trust, collaborate well with others, and influence with and without authority. So the question that's asked to us a lot is, what is leadership presence and how does it help us? Well, leadership presence is having a strong ACL. An ACL is how we act, communicate, and look. It is the ability to go into each situation in a very intentional way and think, how am I showing up? How can I be present for others? How can I connect with them by being present and empathetic, as well as coming across powerfully, visually, vocally, and verbally? We're so glad that you've had the chance to connect even remotely during this national sales meeting and to build that unity together. We know that several of you have joined the organization post-COVID and that you weren't able to build relationships face-to-face. And through this meeting, you're able to do that and to be better together. So in that theme, let's learn how we can also individually bring more to our teams by enhancing our leadership presence. My name is Amy Glass. I am president and owner of BRODYpro. My whole team, we are a group of leadership and communication skills trainers and consultants that partner with Fortune 100 companies, helping individuals and teams enhance their skills. We work a lot within pharma, biotech, as well as device. So we are heavily embedded within the life science organization. And we've spoken at your national sales meetings and others in the past.